The person that needs to be in the world needs to be in the world. Without the spiritual intelligence to create the conditions for growth internally, the student must obtain those conditions from its environment. The greater the temptations, the greater the spirit of character if the temptations are resisted. We exist upon that which resists us. In the forest, in the middle of a thicket of tall pine trees, only at the tops of those trees are there branches that spread for the rays of sun. In the midst of their comrades, they do not need strengthening from the ground. The wind, the storms, and tempests cannot harm them because they are protected by their neighbors. But every so often, a storm comes along that is big enough to topple the entire grove, and the thin, top-heavy trees come crashing down with relative ease. However, off to the side, away from the thicket of trees, stands a small, scraggly, lone pine, forced to grow its roots deep into the rock its entire life, shooting branches from its base for strength and support from the harsh environment. This meager tree endures the storm because it has experienced raw reality its entire life, for it has not been sheltered by the superficial barriers of its kin. Its development came from the ground up, supplying itself by itself a sturdy foundation before reaching the heavens. Humans are like this grove of trees. They rely too much on the ideas and opinions and philosophies of those around us, but while the herd helps us grow to a certain extent and shelters us from the surrounding elements, we are inevitably weak from lack of pressure. We are top-heavy, like the pine grove. We are all mind and no heart. We have no development of individualized character which comes from the heart, and so when an actual tempest comes, it rips us all down with relative ease. Without strength of character, we are at the mercy of our emotions, which for the most part come from and go to places of unknown origin. The person that retreats from the pressures of the world out of fear, that is no hero. In fact, that is a coward. They imagine they are doing a service to God by being harmless, but in fact are no better than their pleasure-seeking counterparts. The sensualist wastes their time in the persecution of wasteless pleasures, while the bigot wastes theirs in useless ceremony. The former does so in order to procure sensual pleasures in this life, while the latter seeks to procure it in the next. Both act to gratify selfish pleasures. And the interesting thing is, once the divine spirit has blossomed, once the soul has ascended to the heavens but found in the internal, and is able to create for itself the necessary elements for evolution, it no longer needs the elements of the natural 3D world. And when it retreats to solitude, away from the chaos of our dimension, it is still not a hero or ascetic, because how can you be praised for giving up something that was a burden to you in the first place? And that is the difference between the motives behind the ascetic and the enlightened adept. The ascetic is the one that exists with his or her animal still intact with the soul. The ascetic fights the wants of the physical plane still. The adept renounces nothing when retiring to solitude, for it cannot be looked at as an act of renunciation if we throw away things that burden us in the first place. It is no act of self-denial if we refuse things that we do not want. I hope you enjoyed that little essay, that little Man of Letters essay. If you liked it and you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, support the channel. Let's get some dialogue going. How do you guys feel? Are you the pleasure seeker, trying to solidify your pleasure in this realm and the sensual aspect, or are you the ascetic which retreats from the world and not a hero, but a coward, someone who abandons their ranks at the beginning of the battle? thinking that somehow by becoming harmless and useless that they are serving God, serving humanity. You know, the former seeks their pleasure now, and the latter seeks their pleasure in the afterlife, while the adept procures their happiness here and now, but a fulfilling happiness here and now. Which are you? I myself find myself somewhere in between, somewhere dancing in between the poles of both of those, all right? That's, you know what I mean? It's all right, though. It's all right. Because we're on our way to rising above that plane. Not negating the law, but using law against law. Not stopping the swing, but rising above it. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments. Thank you guys for all of your get well soon. We're already healing. It's day 3 of our surgery, and I'm feeling like a champion. And we're right back at it, baby. Let's make 2023 an exceptional one. We're doing big things this year, baby. We're doing big things. And I'm so stoked to have you guys along for the ride, and I'm so stoked to be here for your guys' ride. See you in the next video, all right? Take it easy.